All right, hi everyone. So here's the next property, and it's talking about all about negative exponents. Okay, now you'll see up at the top this quote. Okay, this is a goofy, silly rhyme, but those who stick to it are able to do this pretty well. Okay, the rhyme is cross the line and change the sign. So all of these examples right here are pretend we already did the problems. We use those other properties we've learned about, and these are the answers we got. Okay. Now, cross the line, meaning all of these can be written if they don't have a fraction bar, they could be written over a fraction bar. Okay, so cross the line, meaning if we take a look, if I drew in this blue fraction bar, you might say x to the negative 3 sits on top of that line. If I cross it, meaning if I go to the other side, I go from the top to the bottom. Okay, now, so I cross the line and I have to change the sign from negative to a positive 3. Now, when I move stuff down, if there's nothing left, I have to have a 1 as a placeholder. But I crossed the line, I changed the sign, I went from the top to the bottom. Okay, now this example is a little bit more self-explanatory because I have x to the negative 4 on top. So if I cross the line, it's going to go to the bottom. And so when it goes to the bottom, it crosses the line and changes the sign from negative to a positive. But then the y, which in this case I had on the bottom, is going to also cross the line. That's why I don't say move to the bottom and then flip it, because it could be located anywhere to start. So if I cross the line, I go from the bottom to the top. So I cross the line and change the sign from negative to a positive, and that's my final answer. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's letters or numbers or coefficients. The things that have negative exponents are going to cross the line and change the sign. So if we take a look, 3 is to the negative 2. So that's going to move to the bottom. And x to the negative 5 is also going to move to the bottom. So if I redraw that line, I have 3 squared because I crossed the line and changed the sign, and x to the 5th because it went from negative to a positive. And now it looks like I moved everything up from the top down to the bottom. So I have to have the placeholder. Now the only way that I have one less step is what is 3 squared? And that number is 9. So 1 over 9, x to the 5th. Okay. So let's just take a look at a couple more just to make sure that we kind of get the hang of this. Okay. Let's just say I get 2x to the negative 4 times 3x to the negative 10. Okay, so we multiply 2 times 3 to get 6, and now it's putting my x's together. So if it's multiply, I'm going to add between them, so I get negative 14, and they are distinct separate parts. I have a coefficient, and I have a number, or an exponent, I should say. Okay, so what has the negative exponent is the x, and that's the only piece that's going to cross the line and change the sign. So the 6 stays where it is, and the x goes to the opposite side, so cross the line, and change the sign from negative to a positive. And that right there would be the property of negative exponents. So again, cross the line and change the sign.